Bill in Virginia. It is a Thursday night. Been out in the garage playing a little bit with the N scale layout. This week I have been adding feeder lines using pre-manufactured rail joiners with feeders attached. I've got probably about a dozen of them attached to the layout. As I get a little bit farther, I will add probably another 5 or 6 as I flesh out some of the industrial areas and make sure that all of the tracks got good power. I've been running some of my engines on the tracks already and looking for any dead spots, and right now it's pretty good. So this coming weekend, I plan on gluing the track down in position. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm only going to glue maybe a spot every few inches, because when I do the ballasting, that's going to hold the track completely down. But I just want enough so that it doesn't shift. I've got everything in position. It runs pretty good. This layout is DCC. So I bought an NCE power cab system off eBay before Christmas, a self-Christmas present. I've got it installed. And I've been running some of my DCC engines, and really good. But what I find is fun, and I'm not going to get in the debate between which system is better, DC or DCC. I think each one has its advantages. On a layout that has newer equipment, DCC I think is the way to go. Old equipment, you know what, old school is still good. DC works just fine. But under the table is where you can really see the difference. So bus line, and I'm using the blue painter's tape again. It holds the wires in place. Simple distribution system, and you know what, the layout is essentially done. I'm going to add a few more feeders, like I said, and I can wire those in pretty quick, but that's it. Now, coming over to the HO scale, DC, old school, got all kinds of old equipment. A little bit more complicated under the hood. And this is the original piece. A lot of wires, a lot of connections everywhere. It works just fine, and I can chase things if I have them for problems, and I know where to look. But you know what? Something like this on a layout, that definitely saves time. I've been under the layout a total of maybe 3 hours since I started wiring, just to get everything hooked up with the connections, and it works just fine. Next video, I'm going to be running some stuff. I got a little doodlebug off eBay that's already DCC equipped, and was running that earlier tonight. Runs pretty well. Well, I am about to do a critical test on the layout. I have cleaned the counter of a lot of the construction items, and I am going to put the N-scale layout in its storage position. This will be the first time that I've done it since I've done the bits and pieces of scenery. I'm going to leave the trains on the layout just like I normally would for operation. And we're going to see what's going to happen. And I'm going to do that as a time lapse for everybody. It'll take a little bit, but let's see what happens. Well, that was about 5 minutes, maybe 6, to put the table up on the countertop. So the system worked. I only had a couple of cars derail as I was fumbling with one of the cross braces for a second. But this is how the system's going to be. So when I'm not using it and I need access into the garage, the layout is up on the counter. And in fact, in this position, I can still reach the far side. It's not super convenient, but I can get to everything that I need on this side. I can get access to the back side of the layout over here still from underneath. So I think it works. I think what I wanted to do with this layout has proven itself. As you can see, I've also got the DCC set up on it. I'm going to do a little bit of running, and that will take care of this week's video. What I'm going to show is I got a purchase off of eBay of a Pennsylvania doodlebug. And those of you that have watched my videos know that I have one just like it in HO scale. So this is an N scale one, and it has a DCC decoder in it. I was able to pick it up for 30 bucks off of eBay with a little bit of shipping. Got it here this week, and I've already run it on the layout last night, and it runs pretty well. So I'm quite happy with the purchase. So next I'm going to just kind of do some running, and then I'm going to be getting into some of the totes of other trains, because I know in one of those totes I have N-scale passenger cars that go with this DC Santa Fe unit. I just have to find them, and if I can, I'm going to run a passenger train, and I'm going to have some coffee, and I'm going to sit back and relax. And also, my measurements seem to have been pretty good, because this actually fit. I was a little bit worried about it. What I will end up doing at when I'm doing scenery up here is I probably will take the hot knife, and I will carve it down a little bit so that I can put maybe some static grass or something up there, make it sort of a pasture on a hill. That's going to come later. So anyway, that's where I'm sitting right now.